So despite the fact that the media narrative is, it's all good for Albo, let's have a look at his record in the campaign thus far. He's lied about borders and border protections and his position at least 4 times. He lied about his job as an economic advisor in the Hawke government. He's lied about the number of casual workers. He's lied about his health plans, not once but 3 times. Remember, nurses won't just fall from the sky. Makes a promise, has no detail on the back of it. He started it by not knowing the unemployment rate, not the interest rate, despite the fact that he owns 5 houses. He won't tell us who's going to defend the country as the Defence Minister. He won't tell us who's going to be the Home Affairs or Borders Minister, and he's lied about the way that the Solomons, or why I should say, the Solomons have turned to China. Now, amazingly, one of the lines being run by Labor is that all of this has something to do with climate change.
Australia sits in the naughty corner. Now, I've attended climate change conferences, and I assure you that for the Pacific, for our friends, it is the number one issue. It's a threat to their very existence.
It was something echoed by somebody who might end up with the power to make Albanese and the Greens the people who run this country. Allegra Spender is clueless on anything other than the dinner party conversations. So today, this was her take on China buying up a Pacific island.
But when it comes to action on climate change, he's not crossing the floor and not really standing up for this community.
Do you regret the fact that, as Michelle put it, you're targeting a moderate Liberal, and this is often the case with the climate independence backed by Climate 200, it's targeting moderates.
It's targeting people who say they're moderate, but they don't vote moderate, and that's my problem. That's why I'm standing.
You have solar panels on your house, and how many electric vehicles are in your garage?
So I tried very hard to get solar panels on my house, but I'm in a strata area and I couldn't, in relation to what was happening with neighbours.
Anyway, a bit of extra stuff in there. Cut the fat. She says that climate change is the reason that the Solomon Islands are running into China's arms. What garbage, what fallacy, what BS. China is the biggest climate change problem in the world. Why would, because your island is sinking, you sidle up to the joint that is doing the most damage to sink your island? It's garbage. The facts about China and climate change. Remember, under the Paris Agreement, they can do whatever they want, increase their pollution every year till 2030, while we're trying to tie one hand behind our backs and kill off industry here. And China doesn't hit net zero, not till 2050, 2060 is their number. So anyone suggesting it's climate change in the Solomon Islands, tell them to whistle Dixie, because it is not the reason that is taking place. And amazingly, despite the comments, the criticisms, the observations, and the attempt to blame Australia for China buying off a Pacific island, there was an amazing bit in a great interview with Peter Credlin and the Defence Minister, Peter Dutton. Now, when you are in caretaker mode, you can get the same level of information as the sitting government via briefings. Generally, when it comes to national security, that also happens during normal parliaments. Remember the stakes and how high they are. The line that Labor has been running, and have a listen to how disinterested they are in the actual reasons this is taking place. Roll the tape.
What sort of briefing has Penny Wong or Anthony Albanese had on this issue? What sort of security briefing have they had?
None. I mean, this is the thing. They don't have the intelligence or the information that we've been working on for months.
And apparently haven't even asked for one. Now, that is dangerous. If they are 30 days away from being the government of the country, and supposedly this is going to be one of the great challenges that we need to deal with in our world, you would have picked up the phone. Now, after that interview, no doubt there'll be frantic briefings to the media that one will be coming sometime soon, but they have shown no interest in it whatsoever. And maybe that's because they don't know who's going to be the Defence Minister. They don't know who's going to be in charge of our borders.